Ok, pues vamos a ver cómo continúa esto. Me he cambiado un momentito de PJ que me ha tocado aquí hacerla esto. Pero vamos a hablar con Tignari. A ver qué pacha. ¡Hey, Tignari!
Good morning. How do you feel today?
Genial.
We feel much better. How about you?
¿Ya está mejor tu herida?
I'm recovering well. Thanks for asking.
But from the looks of it, you seem to be already busy with work again.
It's fine. I'm not that busy, really. The Elazar patients have recovered, as well as Hypatia. For now, I only need to tend to my Forest Watcher duties.
It seems once Irminsul started getting better, everything else started to recover too.
Yes, but there are still some residual effects. The Withering is one example. Though it won't spread anymore, the existing zones won't just disappear. We Forest Rangers will still need to do the work.
Gracias por ocuparte de un trabajo tan duro.
By the way, we have some good news. Sino got his position back.
This news is hardly new. He had already mentioned it to me before.
Huh? You mean he was already here? Why didn't he come to say hi to us?
He visited once, but he was afraid of disturbing you while you were resting. He just asked me a few questions and left.
And you probably already know all about the celebration feast.
Celebration feast? No, I haven't heard anything about that.
Huh? But didn't Nilu say in her letter that they would celebrate Sino? He didn't tell you?
Perhaps, or alternatively, he doesn't know about it either.
Come to think of it, Sino doesn't seem like the type who'd enjoy a celebration feast.
Quizás ni lo planeé decírselo in situ.
You and Kale are both Sino's close friends. Why don't you come to the feast with us?
Kala has taken over some of my tasks these days. I don't think she'll have time for it. You see, some VIPs have come to the forest recently.
Huh? VIPs?
Well, technically speaking, they are former VIPs. The sages involved in recent incidents have begun their training in the Avidya forest, and the people they had previously imprisoned have all been released.
Huh?
¿Tu maestro se encuentra bien?
Yes, he's a little weak, but he isn't injured and his condition is stable. Lesser Lord Kusanali, in her boundless mercy, has decided to spare Azar and the other wrongdoers. Supposedly, they were ashamed of their shallow ideologies and have decided to dedicate the rest of their lives to cultivating wisdom in the Avidya forest. When they learned that Lesser Lord Kusanali had defeated the Balladeer and saved Irminsul, they were shocked at first, but also became happy, feeling that the sacred light guiding them on the path of discovering wisdom had begun to shine once again. As a result, work has increased for the Forest Rangers.
That sounds really exhausting.
There's nothing we can do, really. But that's another topic. Back to the matter at hand. Are you two planning to head out?
Ah, right! We're here to request permission to head out. Would that be okay?
You've recovered well. You may go, but be careful.
Yay! Will do!
Vale, pues parece que ahora toca irnos al Gran Bazar para continuar un poquito la celebración de nuestra victoria frente a Escaramucha. Ojo, me ha flipado bastante lo que hemos podido ver en todos estos enfrentamientos y en todos estos momentos. Y ahora entiendo que vienen un par de escenas, ¿no? De estas de simplemente disfrutar un poquito ya de la aventura, pero de manera más tranquila. Así que nosotros vamos a dejarnos caer por aquí y vamos al Gran Bazar para ver un poquito qué tal continúa. Supongo que aquí veremos a Nilou y al resto, así que ahí estamos. Vamos a ver. ¡Hola!
Well, there won't be any
Entiendo que
problems
todo
if the
esto
feast
es después
starts
de
at
todo lo
that
que hemos
time.
completado del acto de
Everything has
principal,
already
diría
been
yo, aunque
prepared.
creo que aún quedan cosas. Esto es
Mr.
el acto
Zubair,
5, pero
I
después
finished
en alguna de las
tallying things
futuras
up here.
actualizaciones Mami que veremos un
Well,
epílogo de toda la
except
trama de
for the
Sumeru con
guests.
alguna cosita más.
Is a simple reply really that?
Oh, it'll be fine. Besides, it never hurts to get things ready in advance.
I was thinking the same thing. The feast will be held sooner or later, right?
Hey, Nilu!
Traveler, Paimon.
We got your letters, so here we are!
You're the best. The other guests haven't even replied yet.
Huh? Are we the only ones that have arrived?
Yeah, I had someone deliver letters to all of our guests. But maybe everyone is still busy with other things.
Look, I get it. Sumeru is in an extremely important period of transition right now, but even if your friends are important figures, they shouldn't just ignore your request like this. Nilu is Sumeru's #1 celebrity after all.
Eso está claro, tienes razón.
You have no idea how happy I am to talk to people with good taste.
If you consider enjoying Nilu's dances having good taste, then almost everybody has good taste. Because Paimon thinks everybody will love her performance.
That's right. We all think she's amazing too. Nilou is an absolute favorite among those of us who frequent the Grand Bazaar. For Outlanders, you have a great eye. Master Zubair, let's have a vote for the most outstanding audience members next time. I think these two may win.
Nonsense. It is not for us to determine the value of an audience. But indeed, we could try giving gifts to people with particularly good taste. I heard there's a device in Fontaine called a camera that can record people's appearances as pictures.
Ooh, good idea. I wonder where we can find one.
Yo tengo uno.
I don't want you giving pictures of me to everyone. I'm satisfied just being able to perform here.
There's always a lot going on at the Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, and that's why I love it here. Traveler and Paimon, could you help confirm if the letters were actually delivered? If for some reason they didn't receive the letters, then please tell everyone that there will be a feast here.
No te preocupes, iremos a comprobarlo, ¿vale? Parece que toca
We can
entregar
also check
cartas a
out
nuestros
how
amigos.
everything in Sumeru is going now.
¿Sabes dónde se encuentran todos? Vale.
When I
Ella
wrote
en
the
Ormos,
letters,
Alasen en la
I
academia.
asked for Sino.
Vale.
I'm not too sure about Ramon's whereabouts.
Bueno,
My
puede ser.
guess is that he's with Dia. As for Dunyarzad, I just hope she's feeling better. I sent her a letter, but I was afraid of disturbing her.
Okay, got it.
Vale, pues
Let's
creo que ya
go,
lo tenemos
Traveler.
todo, así que ¡vamos al lío! Lo que digo, ya era hora, ya era momento, ¿no?, de encargarnos aquí un poquito de todo esto. Y ahora pues parece que tenemos que ir a unos cuantos sitios, así que vamos a ver. Lo primero de todo, aquí tenemos en lo alto, en Sumeru, uno de los objetivos. Así que vamos a venir por aquí a la academia. Entiendo que primero toca a nuestro compañero Alasen, así que vamos allá. Al, ¿dónde estás?
We haven't seen Alhaitham anywhere. Let's ask that person over there.
A ver, ¿qué pacha? ¿Has visto a Alasen?
Have you seen Alhaitham around?
Yes, it seems Scribe Alhaitham has gone to the House of Dana. You should be able to find him there. But you're already the second group of people I've seen looking for him today. He must be quite the busy man.
Oh? Who else was looking for him?
Mr. Cave was just here asking about him. You wouldn't believe how terrible their relationship is. Don't tell me everyone's here looking for gossip about the sages.
¿Nosotros qué va?
No way. We're strictly here on business.
Ah, I see. Sorry, I thought maybe everyone's as interested in rumors about the sages as...
Vale, pues nada, vamos a hablar con Al. Entiendo que está en la academia, está aquí en la casa cerca, así que ya sabéis cómo va esto. Vamos para adentro. Este es el típico sitio que yo lo digo, en la casa aquí yo metería un montón de libros para poder conseguirlos. Sería bastante guay, pero bueno. A ver, como si que hay libros, digo yo, aquí tiene que haber algo. Canción del fluir. Las enseñanzas del bosque 2. Vale, por aquí no hay nada más. Vale, aquí hay más, ¿ves? El pastor y la botella mágica. Las enseñanzas del bosque 1. Aquí hay algo más. Es la otra de la luz de los espíritus. Digo, ya que estamos, aprovechamos y miramos bien todo esto. Porque aquí sí que es muy fácil que encontremos algún texto chulo. Entiendo que he dado toda la vuelta.
Oh, Hatham should be around here somewhere, right?
Ahí está. Espera, ¿quién es
Oh,
ese?
he's over there. But it looks like he might not have time for us.
Está ocupado hablando con otra
Just
persona.
put down that worthless book and tell me what happened in the academia.
This is not just some worthless book. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to find a physical book like this in Sumeru?
It doesn't matter. It's probably just another thing that you used your authority to get your hands on anyway.
Este es Cabe, ¿no?
Just put it
Un personaje
aside.
que hace poco que en mi hoyo, o sea,
I
Hoyoverse,
came back today
ha
only to
mostrado
hear
un
that the
poquito
sages have
información,
disappeared.
bueno, información,
Oh,
imágenes, arte
You
conceptual
sound
de él.
surprised. I thought you would already know
Entiendo,
the
lo mostraron
inside
al principio de
story.
esta versión, así que entiendo que
Would
será
I
para
be here
un
asking you
futuro
if I
PJ
knew?
quizás.
You're the scribe, not me. So just tell me what you know already.
Well, I almost became a sage.
Huh?
Oh, don't sound too surprised now. You're the renowned Kaveh, light of the Kasharawar. Besides, as a master builder and craftsman, chances are you'll be appointed as a sage too.
Why do I feel like you don't really mean it?
What makes you say that? Why would you question my heartfelt sincerity?
Maybe it's because you've never said anything good about me before.
Tiene una visión
Yeah,
dentro, o
well,
sea, sí que
I
tendrá
share
que
a
ser
similar
personaje.
sentiment, and anyone who knows you as well as I do would surely do the same.
You see? This is why I hate discussing anything with you. Your ridiculous and arrogant attitude always gets in the way.
It seems that you really can't stand my personality.
Ha! What was your first clue?
Well, then you might as well move out of my house.
Are you threatening me? Stooping to a new low, I see. Ugh. And don't change the subject. You, a sage? What a joke. The academia might as well just close tomorrow.
Are they having a fight?
Veamos cómo termina la cosa, tampoco tenemos prisa.
Forget what's going on with the academia. Haven't you been busy with your construction project? Tell me, when are you going to build yourself a mansion?
Don't get me started. I get angry just thinking about it.
So, what great building did our master architect work on this time?
Like I need to tell you. Keep your nose out of my business.
No, I think we deserve to know. Where were you when Sumeru needed you most?
I was in the desert for a large project, but considering Haravatat's utter ignorance of architectural and aesthetic matters, you probably wouldn't understand. Which is truly unfortunate. I can only pity the man who doesn't understand the first thing about
este es un
beauty
crack
and
también,
romance. Hold on,
Madre
wait
mía.
a second. What do you mean
Este
by
no se ha enterado de
when
nada de lo que pasa
Sumeru
en
needed
Sumeru,
me
luego.
most?
Well, while you were out fiddling around in the desert, many people came together to save Sumeru from a crisis.
Ha! And you think I'd believe that?
Look, all you really need to know is that Azar and all his accomplices have all been overthrown.
Huh? What nonsense are you talking about?
It's no skin off my nose if you don't believe me. It's not like my Darshan was the one trying to apply for funding from the Grand Sage.
You know what? I'll ask around. I'm sure someone knows what's going on here. You're dead if I find out you're lying to me.
Bueno, pues este parece que se va. Y Al, como siempre, el enigma puro y duro, el misterioso, es que es lo que digo. Aquí hay más, espérate. Vale, ahí está. Vale, resplandeciente como el fuego, perfecto. Esto de conseguir todo lo de las enseñanzas del bosque. Vale, y aquí parece que hay algo más, ojito. Canción del fluir, ahí está, el viaje de Farris completado también, muy bien. Y aquí está Al, vamos a hablarle. Bueno, por lo menos os he sacado dos trofeitos fáciles.
Oh, it's you two. What's the matter?
We're running some errands for Nilu. Have you received
¿Recibiste
her
la
letter?
carta?
Letter?
Nilu said she sent out a letter inviting
Bueno, explicamos lo que es la carta que nos ha invitado aquí para el banquete. ¿Y qué de paso celebraremos la reincorporación de Zino como gran juez?
If she addressed the letter to all Hatham of the academia, then the letter should have gone to my office. I've been busy these days, so I haven't had time to check for any new mail at my office.
Have you always been so busy with your work?
Of course not. I'm only busy these days because several sages have been dismissed recently and the whole academia was practically turned upside down.
Tignari told us they all went to train in the Avidia forest. Apparently they will spend the rest of their lives there.
That is already the best possible ending for the likes of them. 4 of the 6 great sages were possessed by their desire for power and attempted to create a new god. In order to pull it off, they even imprisoned the other 2 rational sages. to imagine such things could take place in the academia.
Eso de los 6 sabios suena ultrapoderoso.
Yeah, you're right. Huh. Feels kind of strange to hear them called that after all this time.
Yes, at least that's how they're supposed to sound. It's said that when the academia was first founded, the Dendro Archon herself established the 6 great schools, each representing one of the 6 different types of wisdom. Numerous Darshans have sprung up and faded. Only the 6 Darshans attaching themselves to the 6 great schools have stood the test of time and obtained permanent seats in the academia. Now, the 6 Darshans are nearly synonymous with the 6 great schools, and among the 6 great sages, there is one central leader, the Grand Sage. Unfortunately, only the sages from Vahumana and Amorta remain now. They were imprisoned for opposing Azar, and were only rescued after Azar's downfall.
So who's managing things in the other 4 schools now? Do they need to find someone new?
Yes. Normally, new sages are selected based on a strict set of criteria.
Oh, didn't you just say something about becoming a sage? If they pick you, then we'd have a huge connection in Sumeru.
Paimon siempre ve dónde puede sacar provecho, amigo.
Yes, about that. You didn't let me finish my sentence. The person in charge of personnel affairs nominated me to be the Grand Sage in place of Azar and help Lesser Lord Kusanali manage the academia. But I refused.
Huh? But why? Can't you be a little more ambitious?
I'm not even interested in being one of the 6 great sages. Like I said before, I don't like being a leader.
Oh, all right. So are you busy these days trying to find others to take the job?
That's not my job either. I'm only responsible for handling important affairs within the academia before the new sages take office.
Sigue siendo un líder aunque sea temporal, bro.
And the first thing I'll do is reject Kasharawar's application for funding.
By the way, who was that other person just now? Is he your friend?
Do we look like friends?
Paimon doesn't know.
His name is Kaveh, my roommate. You could say he's the representative for Ksharawar scholars.
Tengo la impresión de que no se creyó en nada de lo que dijiste.
Which is exactly why he always has so many problems.
So everything that's happened recently must be a huge change for the people of Sumeru.
Aprecio que te hayas esforzado tanto estos días, amigo.
Such is the work of the Academia Scribe.
Well, anyway, no matter how busy you are, since you are our planner, remember to attend the celebration feast in 2 days.
All right. I'll see you there.
Vale. Pues Al se viene a la fiesta, se viene a la party, eso es bueno. Y bueno, por aquí creo que ya no habrá nada más. De todos modos voy a revisar. Pues ya no veo ningún librito más. Estas. Me ha molado bastante, que estén todos aquí en una zona. Se agradece de vez en cuando. Ay, con esto puedo subir. A ver. ¿What? Espérate un momento. Ya sé que hay que ir a Puerto Ormos, gente. Lo sé, I know. Pero vamos a ver un poquito cómo esto, ¿no? Buah. Esto parece más biblioteca. Aquí es donde está Nahida, ¿no? O quizás aquí entre todas estas estanterías haya algún libro más. O no. A ver, estaría guapo que hubieran puesto alguna novelita o algo, pero bueno. Creo que no. Aquí está lo del gran escriba. Y unas notas o algo, yo que sé, algo chulo, tío. Hola, soy Xiao, soy el nuevo escriba. Bienvenidos a mi legado. Vale, tampoco veo nada más. Entiendo que el conocimiento está abajo y ya lo tenemos, así que vamos a continuar, vamos a ir al mapa y ahora toca ir a el puerto de Ormos, así que venimos a este TP y nos vamos a ver cómo continúa aquí reclutando la peña. Madre mía, de verdad me está gustando muchísimo. Muchos me estabais preguntando, ¿vale? El tema de qué es esto. Esto, como podéis ver, es el acto 5, o sea, no es el epílogo todavía, pero sí que nos va a dar una cosa bastante especial, que, a ver si me deja un momentito, que es esto de aquí. Que parece que es un retoño, es básicamente un recuerdo de todo esto, o sea, ¿no? Como hemos completado la trama de Sumeru, entiendo. Yo creo que quizás esos objetos tan extraños que a veces vemos tienen que ver con la gnosis, pero bueno. Claro, se me ha quitado la misión, creo, ¿no? Ahí está. Vamos allá. ¡Corre, Xiao, corre! Y aquí debería estar de ella. Y Brahman, espero, ¿no? Con el barco que se fue de Tore, pues esa isla del fondo todo
This
sigue.
is Port Ormos. Now where could...
Is that Paimon I hear?
¿Dunazard?
Huh?
Oh, it's been a while.
¡Oh!
How are you doing?
¡Oh! Está recuperada, claro.
So long since we've seen
No
you.
nos va nada mal. ¿Cómo estás tú?
I'm doing well. I can go as far as saying I have never been happier in my entire life. I don't know if you've heard, but Elazar has completely disappeared, and all the patients have recovered.
You kidding? Knowing them and the connections they've got, I'm sure they've heard about it.
Tú también estás aquí.
That's right. My lady is feeling better now, so I'm accompanying her for a walk.
Why do you still call me that, Dia? You've already informed my father of your resignation.
I guess I'm just used to calling you my lady. Old habits die hard.
Resignation? You mean you're quitting?
Yeah, I might start losing my edge if I keep being a bodyguard for the Homayanis.
You know that my parents and I are fond of you, and that we appreciate you very much. It wouldn't be a problem if you wish to continue to be our bodyguard.
I'm not a woman that's easily persuaded. You should know that by now, my lady. When I took this job, I had already decided that I'd quit as soon as you recovered. It's time for me to get back out there and chase that horizon.
So what are you gonna do now if you're not gonna be a bodyguard anymore?
I want to take a risky job and put my body to the test again.
Huh? But we literally just finished one of the most dangerous jobs ever. Are you getting bored already?
I know. If I hadn't joined in that plan with you, I wouldn't have come up with this idea. I guess I still get fired up by that feeling of going all out in a fight. It made me realize that I'm still a mercenary through and through. Life is short, and I'm happy that I got to be a part of that operation. But the whole thing also made me realize that there are still many problems in Sumeru. And as a desert dweller, I'm still not completely ready to settle down on this side of the wall.
Well, I remember a friend had someone bring you a message.
You mean I'll hate them? I didn't expect him to still remember that. I thought he was joking.
We just came from talking with Alhaitham at the Academia.
Did he tell you that he suggested that I come work at the Academia?
What?
No escuchamos nada al respecto.
I heard that Azar and his cronies fell from power, and Alhaitham told me that now was a good time to find a job in the Academia, but only if I wanted to.
Whoa. Paimon can't see you being anything other than a mercenary.
Me neither.
Ugh, forget about it. Alhaitham probably just liked the way I worked and knew I'm good in a fight, so he suggested I find some work in the Academia.
But you know, if you take him up on the offer, Sino might actually agree and let you become a Matra, because you're super amazing.
Maravillosa. Ya lo he visto todo.
The
Paimon.
Matra have all the talent they need as long as they have Sino. In fact, I chose this job from the very start because I knew it'd be right up my alley.
Even if being a mercenary
Es lo que digo,
means
estamos aquí en la
facing all kinds of
3.2.
danger.
Todo lo que falta,
A lion has
todo
to
lo que
return
nos
to the
queda
wild
por
sooner or
ver,
later.
y
If
personajes que
anything,
conseguir que
I
hemos vivido en
wanna
esta
see you
aventura
go.
junto a ellos,
I'm
pero
glad to
apenas
hear you
hemos
say that.
podido ir conociendo.
Come on, no need for the sad face. It's not like we'll never meet again.
La libertad es un rasgo inherente al espíritu de Deya.
Once the whole Dendro Archon thing is settled, everything in Sumeru will take a turn for the better. But a peaceful society will probably mean less demand for mercenaries like me. Before long, we'll be a
Esto
dying
no piensa en su
breed.
curro.
So I'd better get to work while I still can.
Huh? But wait a second. You make it sound like you're leaving now.
Well, no, not yet at least. I promised my lady I'd stick around until next week.
So, have you been in Port Ormos this entire time? We were wondering if you had received a letter from Nilu.
Oh, did Nilu write to us?
She heard that you were seen in Port Ormos, so she sent the letter here.
Huh. It was probably sent to the inn that we're staying at. My lady has been very energetic lately and keeps taking me on hikes, staying out even into the night. By the time we get back, the receptionist is
Vamos, que
usually
nadie se
off
entera de las
napping on the
cartas
job.
después.
Right, and we tend to leave quite early in the morning, so the old man on duty is also usually dozing off.
So what it really sounds like is that the person on duty is always asleep.
I bet the letter's at the reception desk. I'll go check later.
No wonder there wasn't a reply. You never received the letter. Good thing Nilu asked us to come and check on that.
Sorry to make you two come all the way out here.
No pasa nada.
It must be something important for Nilu to specifically write to us like that.
Yes, she said they were preparing
Bueno,
a
aquí Paimon
victory
dice lo
feast in the
importante,
Grand
¿no? La
Bazaar.
comida y un gran
And we'll also be
banquete.
celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra.
Great! I'll be sure to attend.
Count me in too. But is there some sort of dress code or anything for the feast? Can I just...
Since it's being organized by Nilu, I don't think she'll be too picky about that. If anything, I think she wants to see us as our most natural selves.
All right, then this is how I'll show up.
The feast will be held in 2 days, so don't forget.
Sure.
Thank you so much for letting us know. We'll see you there.
Oh, by the way, do you happen to know where Sino and Raman are?
The General Mahamatra always comes and goes without a trace. Normally no one knows his whereabouts.
Oh,
But last time we met, he mentioned that he had something to do in Aru.
Vale.
As for Raman, your guess is as good as mine. I only remember he said that he had
Gracias,
something...
Deya.
Don't mention it.
all right, on to our next stop.
Vale, pues parece que la siguiente parada en este caso es la aldea de Aru, así que ya lo habéis visto. Vamos a abrir el mapita y vamos a dirigirnos hacia la mismísima aldea de Aru. Aquí entiendo que cerca tendremos para encontrar a Cino, pero lo que digo, vamos a hacer el TP y importante, ahora que estamos aquí, lo que digo, no olvidéis recoger los logros que en este caso tienen que ver con Vagabundo del Mundo Mortal, parte 3, y básicamente, vale, son el de haber completado la colección de las enseñanzas del bosque y de la canción de Fluir, ¿vale? Ahí lo tenemos, perfecto. Nos falta todavía historias de Gugrabat, que es la que me falta por conseguir, pero de momento aquí pues ya hemos ido consiguiendo cositas, así que la cosa va bien. Bueno, nosotros vamos a ir por aquí y vamos a buscar a nuestro amigo Cino, que lo que digo, debería estar por aquí cerca, ojo. No mal que yo así, bro, porque a veces esos tropecitos como acabo de pegar ahora son epic fail. Vale, aquí está Cino.
It's been a while
¡Ey!
since we last visited Aru Village. Ah, there's
Ahí está
Sino.
Cino. Perfecto, ¿cómo va, tío? ¿Cuánto tiempo?
What brings you
palabras.
here?
We recovered well, and Tignari agreed to let us leave, so now we're out and about again.
It seems Gandarvaville's medical treatment is still as good as ever.
And Tignari is recovering well, too.
That's good to hear.
Gracias por llevarnos allí.
Yeah, you're the one who brought us to
Hemos
him
hecho un
when we
montón de
lost
amigos, poca
consciousness,
broma.
right? Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Tainari has excellent medical skills, and Kale is quite attentive. It was the best place for you.
Yo lo
Why
que me
are you
alegra
just
ahora es
standing
que
here like a
Coley
dead
por fin se ha
tree?
curado del Eleazar. O sea, es algo
I'm
importante.
meeting some people.
Oh, you mean Candace?
I've already talked with Candace and the village chief. They're still at the usual place. You can go there if you'd like to see them. But you know one of the people I'm meeting as well.
Oh, by King Deshret's blessing, my friend suddenly appears in the desert.
Mira, pues ya tenemos el otro que buscábamos.
Don't tell me you've run into trouble and need us to help now.
Roman! And, huh? Sataria?
Oh, you know me?
Oh, well, you're pretty famous in the academia.
Don't worry, these are our friends. No need to be so guarded.
I see.
¿Cómo les va todo últimamente?
I'm doing well. Many good things have happened recently.
Same here. Really, I feel that my whole life has started to shine after suddenly finding a new direction.
Oh, tell us everything.
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right, well, I suppose I should start by saying I've decided to leave the academia.
What?
¿Ya no serás una erudita? What?
It's not that I've given up on being a scholar. Instead, you could say I've found a new identity. I will no longer pursue research like a typical scholar, but I have not completely given up on my relationship to knowledge either.
I can see what you're saying now.
What do you mean?
I plan to leave the academia and return to teach here in the desert.
Wow, so you want to become a teacher?
Setaria will return to support education here and teach people from the desert. She can't teach everyone on her own, but there are many of us Eremites all over Sumeru. She came to discuss a collaboration with me and hoped that I could bring her ideas.
Yes, it's my hope that the Eremites can help me select a group of smart people with the best aptitude for teaching. That is the true meaning of education and the spreading of knowledge.
Bueno, Setaria por lo menos también ha
Deshret
mejorado
suffer
entonces
from
con todo esto, ¿no?
sandstorms, exile, and ignorance. Miss Setaria is more than welcome to come teach here. The stars have always guided caravans, thieves, soldiers, and travelers who get lost in the night. They lead those in the dark out of trouble and back to safety.
Oh, please. Where's all of this coming from? I'm starting to feel a little embarrassed.
You deserve these compliments. Mercenaries are accustomed to danger and don't fear death, which is why we recognize extraordinary actions that common people would easily overlook.
Setaria's idea will bring much good to many people.
At first, I feared it was destined to fail. Everyone knows that the academia doesn't allow scholars to teach in the desert without permission. As you know, all knowledge is under their surveillance and control, and very few desert dwellers are as lucky as me. But what I heard at that time has been haunting my heart, as if there were lightning bolts constantly bombarding my soul. Setaria, you tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the academia's grasp on you will become. Setaria, why haven't you gone home? Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
Miss.
These words sparked something in me, and I knew that I had to bring something back to my people after going home. I gathered up the courage to approach the Grand Sage, only to find that he was no longer at the academia. Lord Sino told me that Azar didn't belong there anymore.
Azar has received much-needed punishment. Though, if you ask me...
Así es.
Lord Sino helped me obtain permission to leave the academia for the desert, and accompanied me here to discuss collaboration with members of the
aquí se ha encargado de que todo vaya bien.
My plan was able to go smoothly thanks to him and Ram.
You're all doing so much for the desert.
Aside from that, I also have some other business to discuss.
Lesser Lord Kusanali has allocated many resources to support and develop the desert. I've done some business for her, and part of it required the assistance of the Eremites. I applied for a few batches of educational materials from the academia, and sent them to several groups in the desert, as instructed by Lesser Lord Kusanali.
That's exactly what the people here need. Physical books and other related items. If it weren't for Sino and Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'm afraid we'd never be able to get our hands on.
Apart from this, the academia is also recruiting scholars that are willing to teach in the desert. I'll let you and Setaria know as soon as I have any more news. We must be persistent about this, and maintain these resources to ensure long-term effectiveness.
This is the first time in hundreds of years we've had a glimmer of hope. I think this may be the turning point for the desert. Remember these words. Here lies our faithful priest, Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration. I hope people with wisdom like that priest will rise again among the desert dwellers. Then we'll once again see the wisdom and glory that once shook the world.
Enough about us. Are you here to discuss some business too?
No, not at all. We're actually here on behalf of
bueno, sí, vamos a decirles que hemos venido para la invitación al banquete, que se me ha olvidado con todo esto.
A celebration feast will be held in 2 days at the Grand Bazaar. She hopes that all of you will be able to attend. At the feast, we'll also be celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra. Although, judging from your appearance, it seems you've already been reinstated.
Celebration? Feast?
No tenía ni idea, ¿verdad?
It's the first I've heard of it.
Tignari was right. He really didn't know.
This feast is for you, Sino. Sounds to me like you'll have to be there.
It's rare to see that kind of expression from Lord Sino. You must not like feasts very much.
No, not really.
Ustedes dos también están invitados.
Well, I still have a lot to handle here. Besides, I need to look after Miss Setaria in the desert, so I'll have to pass.
I'm afraid I won't be able to join you. Although, if you'd be so kind,
please give a message to Miss Nilou for me? The message is, I'm sorry for how I treated you before, but now I understand the beauty of your dance. It's like a light shining in the sky. You and the art you symbolize are not only beautiful, but also lively and powerful. Please keep dancing, and someday I'll be able to appreciate your art in person.
Okay, we've got all that down.
Haremos que tu mensaje llegue a Nilou.
Our job here is complete as well. Oh, Sino?
Got it.
Vale, le decimos que el banquete dentro de 2 días y entiendo que ahora toca esperar a que comience el banquete entre las 19 y las 24 horas. Pero primero vamos a teletransportarnos a Sumeru y ya desde ahí continuamos nuestra gran aventura. Así que ¡vamos allá! Ya leo. Ok, pues ahora que ya tenemos esto hecho, vamos a venir aquí, vamos a ajustar la hora y ya sabéis que tenemos que esperar entre las 19 y demás de pasado mañana, así que... En serio, no me deja, creo, ¿no? A ver. Creo que tengo que hacer doble time. Vamos allá. Esa torre del fondo bonita que está ahí, ¡Woohoo! Vamos al lío. Venga. Mola mucho, lo que digo, todo lo que estamos viendo en Sumeru me está pareciendo bastante interesante. No sé cómo irán las siguientes actualizaciones, porque esto de que ahora la actualización en vez de cada mes y medio sea cada mes más o menos, creo que es algo que beneficia mucho sobre toda la historia del juego, porque si no, de verdad es una auténtica locura. Vamos a ver, de nuevo aquí, ¿vale? Vamos a poner para que esté entre las 19 horas y tal, así que... Aquí, por ejemplo, vale, ahí está, perfecto. Con esto habrán pasado 2 días y creo que ya podremos verlo del banquete. Entiendo que esto será el final. Es lo que digo, ha sido bastante largo este acto 5, ¿vale? Pero creo que ha merecido mucho la pena. O sea, me ha gustado mucho toda la trama del desierto, ha sido una auténtica sorpresa. Y la verdad que en general lo de Sumeru me ha estado gustando bastante, ¿eh? A ver, vamos al gran bazar y a celebrarlo. Ok. Típico baile, ¿no? De Nilou y escena final, entiendo yo. Aquí están todos, ojo, Candas, no está Candas. A ver.
Everybody's already here. Looks like we're the last ones to arrive.
Siempre llegamos los últimos.
I'm here.
Ah, there you are.
Hola.
Well, look who finally decided to show up.
You look like you came here immediately after finishing up some work. I'm very happy to see you here.
But we're not late, are we? It's just that everyone else arrived ahead of time.
I propose that the last one who arrived be put in charge of today's speeches.
Nah, there won't be any speeches today.
Oh, really? Well, even better.
Come join us over here. Let's share some great food and drinks.
Everything looks quite good.
Wow! Paimon can't wait! Traveler, just look at all the delicious food here.
Pues parece que aquí tenemos por fin el banquete, la celebración y todo esto. Lo que digo, hemos derrotado a Escaramucha, se vienen próximas versiones como Wanderer, pero lo importante es, lo que digo, ver un poco quizás una nueva actualización de Nilou y entender lo que está pasando. No está Nahida aquí, cosa que me extraña, pero bueno.
It's so delicious!
The food was specially prepared for you by everyone in the Grand Bazaar. And we have gifts that were sent by the residents of Sumeru City when they heard we were holding a feast. Everyone that came said that you saved Sumeru and wanted me to thank you all on their behalf.
Ah, feels kind of nice to be seen as a hero. I could get used to this.
Being a bodyguard is also a hero's job. You've always been amazing, Dia.
My lady sure has a way with words. Thanks. I'm glad.
And I'm happy to meet everyone that participated in the great plan.
Don't mention it.
Come to think of it, we've really done something impressive together. It's unbelievable.
We owe it to our abilities. And luck.
Really? Why do I remember everybody thinking that luck was against us and feeling like we hardly had a chance of succeeding?
That's how I remember it too.
It's luck that brought us together, and it was luck that let us form a team. Then, it took even more luck for us to formulate a plan and implement it successfully. Moreover, judging from the results, everything worked out well.
Yeah, everyone gave it their all when it mattered most. It was almost like a performance. We took the stage and put on our best show. Everyone played their part. And thanks to everyone's efforts, the performance was a great success.
So, would you say we're good actors too?
Otro talento más que llevamos en la sangre.
It's such a blessing that Lesser Lord Kusanali was able to return to power at the academia.
Yes, even after being abandoned and neglected so many times, she's finally returned.
¿Que regresó a la academia abandonada y rechazada?
Uh-huh. Lesser Lord Kusanali once used all her power in a great disaster, which resulted in her losing all her wisdom and memories of the past. This should be something everybody should remember. Huh? You look surprised.
Claro, que no saben lo de... Claro, nadie se acuerda de...
I didn't say anything wrong.
No, everything you said is correct.
That's good.
Something wrong?
Yeah, what's with that face?
No es nada, tenía la mente en otra parte. Ya sabéis que solo nosotros sabemos lo que de verdad ha pasado.
Giants of the academia are here. I still have to say it. Those sages really have some nerve. 500 years ago, Lesser Lord Kusanali used all her power for the people of Sumeru. And what did they do in return?
Parece que tras olvidar lo de Ruka de Bata, la visión que tiene la gente sobre la historia de Sumeru ya no es la misma. Ahora todos creen que la Reina Menor Kusanali ha sido siempre la única Arconte de Sumeru. Quizás yo sea la única persona sobre la faz de Teyvat que recuerda a la Reina Mayor Ruka de Bata. Como único testigo de todo lo que sucedió, respetaré su decisión y guardaré su secreto.
If you bite the hand that feeds you, don't act surprised when it turns into a knuckle sandwich, right, Sino?
Perhaps I shouldn't say this, but their treatment of Lesser Lord Kusanali calls for a more severe punishment.
You could simply tell Lesser Lord Kusanali that you wish to have Azar and his accomplices severely punished.
I respect our deity's decision, and won't interfere in any way. While we're on this topic, why didn't you accept the Academia's invitation to become the Grand Sage?
Are you trying to say that I'm fit to be a sage?
Not at all. But every person handling the selection process has said that you are the most suitable candidate to lead the Academia.
Why? Because he dethroned Azar from power?
Could you try to put it another way? This is a good thing. Yet you're making it sound like I overthrew Azar for my own personal gain.
But seriously, though, I always wondered if you had some personal motives behind it.
I did have my own motive, but it had nothing to do with being a sage. If the rules of our nation were suddenly cast by the wayside, then it wouldn't be long until chaos ensued.
By that, you mean your life working as the Academia's scribe?
Precisely.
Wait, is that all?
So, that's the only reason why you joined us and came up with all those plans?
It's reason enough.
You've certainly got quite the personality.
You flatter me.
All right then. How about you? You've already resumed work as the General Mahamatra, right?
That's right.
Will you be happy with that life?
It's not about being happy. There are merely a lot of things that I must do.
Even so,
me encanta Cino, hay muchas cosas de las que me tengo que ocupar.
Al fin. Happy, okay?
Top.
And try to smile more every day.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Así no se le abre un poquito el corazoncito. Se ha oído ahí el de apertura. ¿Vale? Pues ahora hay que hablar con todos en el banquete. Vamos a hablar con Deya.
My lady, the grilled meat over there is delicious.
Yes, I also tried some fruit. What an amazing place to relax.
You said it. Oh, look who else is here.
Hello. Oh, I'm so happy Nilou invited everybody. Oh, now I have the chance to meet all the heroes.
Hey, less of that polite chit-chat and more...
Vale, a comer y beber. Vamos a hablar con Nilou.
There. Well, how is it?
Menos preguntas si no lo hemos estado pasando bien. Todo es inmejorable. Muchas gracias.
That's good. It's the first time I've ever invited so many exceptional people to one place. You see, every guest here is quite extraordinary. It's unbelievable that we've got... Make sure you live it up tonight. I'll be happy as long as you're enjoying yourselves.
Tenemos un mensaje para ti. Le decimos el mensaje que Setaria nos dijo en la aldea de Aru a Nilou.
If I have a chance in the future, I can't explain why.
Vale. Bueno, pues parece que por lo menos aquí todo mejor. Y ahora vamos a hablar con Cino.
¡Hey!
Debes sentirte raro en un sitio tan animado.
I don't often come to such places. I have a lot to handle these days. Otherwise, I could show you around.
Está bien, no te preocupes por nosotros.
There's always next time.
Eso, somos amigos, bro. Bueno. Con Cino todo bien. Y bueno, creo que queda Al. Así que, Al.
I seldom participate in such lively gatherings, but the atmosphere here is quite good.
Y yo que pensaba que te ibas a aburrir.
No. This gathering today has a unique meaning. The Grand Bazaar is lively because the people here feel happiness from the bottom. That happiness is an emotion that'll be forever alien to those bookworms who have driven themselves. I seem to have taken both keys when I left the house. Oh well.
¿Eh?
Hey, what's wrong? Your head is starting to droop.
De repente tengo sueño.
Hey, you can't just fall asleep here. Paimon will go find something delicious for you to eat. You'll wake up once you've put something yummy. Of course. Just wait here for Paimon.
Me da a mí que toca conversación con Nahida, ¿no? ¿Será que anoche no dormí bien o quizás sea que estoy demasiado lleno? Hay alguien ahí.
It's me.
Nahida. Nuestras conciencias vuelven a estar conectadas.
You may blame me for being a bit too self-indulgent. I was thinking about talking with you, and the next thing I knew, I had made a connection with you. The connection between us is amazing. It's like flora and the fence it grows upon.
¿Vale? ¿Hay algo en lo que necesitas ayuda?
I heard there's an amazing celebration feast today at the Grand Bazaar. I wanted to have a look for myself. Lately, I've been so busy dealing with all the fallout from recent events, so I really haven't had any free time. Although you've already helped me with a lot.
Dice que necesita ayuda con algo más. ¿Qué es?
Please say thank you to everyone for me.
Así que esto es lo que quieres, Nahida. Es mejor que lo hagas tú misma en persona.
Is it not convenient for you to do that for me?
Hay ciertas cosas en esta vida que solo puedes hacer por ti misma.
But if I just show up all of a sudden, people will become all quiet and stiff, won't they? What if I end up scaring them and ruining this wonderful feast?
Todo irá bien, no te preocupes tanto. Vale, va a pensar. ¿Ya te decidiste?
Yes, I have.
Me alegro de... ¿Qué estás haciendo?
You said I should go thank everyone as myself, right? So, I've decided to borrow your body for the time being. Please don't blame me. The flora also climbs up to the fence to get closer to the sky.
Prométeme que no harás nada raro con mi cuerpo. A ver.
Everyone! Are you awake now? Paimon was just about to bring you the food. It's me. Huh? That voice. Nahida?
Hold up, what?
Didn't expect to have a conversation with the consciousness of Lesser Lord Kusanali in the Grand Bazaar. Interesting. Is this also a part of the feast?
No, of course not. Are you Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Hello, Nilu.
You know who I am?
Yes. I already know every one of you.
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
I took the liberty of occupying the traveler's body so that I could thank all of you in person. Thank you so much for rescuing me, even if that meant placing your own safety in peril and taking the risk of becoming enemies with the academia, the sages, the doctor, the balladeer, and even the entirety of Sumeru. Without you, without any of you, I would have been in a much more difficult situation. Had you not helped me to resolve the crisis, not only I, but Sumeru and even the entirety of Tevat would have suffered great misfortune. People refer to you as the heroes who met. Please, allow me to present to you my most sincere gratitude.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, you have done so much for Sumeru, and I didn't even have a chance to do anything.
Dingerzad, the suffering you endured during your illness is also proof of you being with me and praying for me. Thank you.
You don't need to be so ceremonious. It's always been my duty to protect you.
This is how the relationship between the Academia and Dendro Archon should be. We just did what was necessary and set things back on the right path.
You're an Archon, but you act so humble. You really don't need to be so polite with us.
I'm honored to have been able to take part in this plan. I hoped you liked the dance I dedicated to you.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much.
Vale. ¿Ves? Lo que te dije, a todo el mundo le alegro verte. Vale. Bueno, lo bueno es que parece que esta aventura en Sumeru llega un poco al final. Entre risas y agradables conversaciones, el día culminó para dar su bienvenida a la noche. Y así el banquete finalizó dejando a sus asistentes con las mejores sensaciones. Vale, de momento todo pinta... Me ha gustado bastante, la verdad. Ha estado bastante cool. Y parece que nos hemos dormido, ¿no? Creo que sí, dormí bien. Nadie te supera en glotonería. La gran sabia de la gula. Vale, vamos a hablar con Nahida. Lo que digo, esto de normal es que me va a tocar subirlo como un vídeo. El banquete lo voy a subir como otro vídeo porque lo que digo, yo ya cerca de una hora. O sea, aquí hay mucho que hacer. Y obviamente creo que al final va a valer la pena, ¿no? Yo creo que aquí vamos a descubrir incluso algo interesante. Porque ahora, ojo, que toca conversación con el Arconte. O sea, yo creo que esto puede ser una gran revelación. Así que hacedme caso, acompañadme en la aventura y a ver qué descubrimos. Yo... si algo tengo claro es que Nahida sabe cosas. O sea, esto que ha pasado cuando habló con Dottore del cielo, creo que es la gran verdad, ¿no? Y que saber que el cielo es falso es algo que se lleva hablando desde el principio de Genshin. Y no, en nuestra aventura por Teyvat poco a poco vamos descubriendo más de eso.
What a fantastic night. I'm still immersed in all the happiness and joy, like a candle floating on water. So are we, and that's why we're here to talk with you. Is there anything you want to know?
¿Qué ha ocurrido con el Akasha?
After recent events, the Akasha can no longer function as it used to. I've given it some thought, and have decided to shut it down permanently. But this is definitely not a bad thing. Even from the beginning, I've been planning to shut it down. The Akasha's centralized administration of knowledge has always restrained people's curiosity and curtailed the number of paths available to them. I don't think this is good for Sumeru. Although people may initially feel a little uncomfortable with the loss of the Akasha, they will soon understand that this life is more suitable for them. And as for the future of Sumeru, I'm preparing to regain control of the Academia. The former sages have received their punishment, but the new sages have yet to be selected. I hope that the new 6th grade sages will be more focused on academics. The other big issue is the people of King Deshret. I've already taken some measures to address
Sí, esto es lo que ha explicado de que les ayudará con cultura, amistad y confianza, vale. Vale. ¿Sabes qué sucedió después de que me durmiera aquel día?
You mean, what happened after the doctor put you to sleep?
¿Se llevó la gnosis?
Not exactly. The top-ranked Fatui Harbingers, up to number 3, possess power comparable to that of gods. However, in spite of the bad situation, I still managed to make a fair deal. I'm sure you remember the entity that changed your fate, the Heavenly Principles. In fact, the Heavenly Principles has been quiet since the Conria disaster 500 years ago. I used this point as leverage against the Doctor. I told him that the Heavenly Principles may be awakened if I destroy the Gnosis. Although it's just a bluff, I assumed that the Heavenly Principles wouldn't just stand by and let such extensive damage to its laws take. And as for what I exchanged for the Gnosis, the exchange served as both punishment for the Doctor, as well as a boon of new knowledge that I couldn't refuse as the God of Wisdom.
¿Qué sabes sobre Escaramucha?
He's still in a coma. I've hidden him like how one would hide a feather. I know you have many misgivings about him, but as someone who had become a god, he has retained a number of very useful features. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't do any evil. In addition, there are still some mysteries left in him. Some things may be very clear from my perspective.
Esto es del futuro de Escaramucha, básicamente, ¿no?
His future will be determined by fate.
Vale, mi próxima parada es Fontaine. ¿Sabes algo sobre ese lugar?
Is that where you're headed next? Fontaine? As far as I know, that nation operates in a judicial system.
Does their Archon personally judge people?
No, there's a Chief Justice in Fontaine. Generally speaking, the Hydra-Archon, Focalor, won't preside over individual trials.
O sea, es un Arconte.
However, even then, Focalor will still make herself present at just about every trial. As Archon, she still reserves the right to influence the final verdict. Anyway, let's just say she's got a very unique personality.
Vale, pues parece que no tengo más preguntas.
Are you sure? Isn't there something else you haven't asked about yet? Huh? About your sister. While you were resting at Gandharvaville, I took some time to perform an Irminsul search for information on your sister.
Pero ambos llegamos desde más allá del mar de estrellas.
Yeah. Isn't Irminsul a repository for all the information and memories of Teyvat? So there shouldn't be anything on him or his sister.
This is true in your case. Irminsul indeed does not have any information on you. However, there must be something different about your sister. Because as it turns out,
¿Cómo que se ha recibido información de ella?
What?
¿Cómo?
There is only one possible explanation. She belongs to this world.
¿Cómo es posible? Antes de todo eso viajé con ella por el mar de estrellas hasta llegar aquí. ¿Cómo puede ser de Teyvat? Esta información no me concuerda. ¿Será que hay algún error con mis recuerdos? ¿O acaso este mundo le hizo algo a mi hermana?
But nothing about this makes any sense. Wasn't this your first trip to Teyvat?
¿Sabes algo más?
According to the records I was able to access, your sibling suddenly appeared in Conria. After the Conria disaster, she began her journey through the 7 nations of Teyvat. But just as her journey was about to reach its conclusion, the Irminsul records on her suddenly...
What do you mean, Fuzzy?
All I know for sure is that somebody, for reasons only they can know, is deliberately obfuscating her fate. And whoever it is, if they can do that, who knows what else they're capable of.
¿Podría estar relacionado con el abismo?
But even that wouldn't explain how she somehow comes from this world.
Something else I noticed was that according to these records, the Fatui have not classified your sibling as one of the Descenders.
¿Descendidos?
What's a Descender? Paimon's never heard of it.
Look, I'm sure you must be curious about the information I received from the Fatui a very important part of the intel was about this world's Descenders. External beings, ones that don't belong to this world. Traveler, you are Teyvat's 4th Descender.
El cuarto descendido, o sea, han venido antes que yo 3.
Huh? So the Fatui count 3 other Descenders before the Traveler? And his sister isn't even one of them?
That's right. My current hypothesis is that the first Descender was likely what we now call the Heavenly Principles. As for the other Descenders, I still need to verify their existence.
Paimon's head's about to burst from all this crazy new information.
And yet, even knowing all this, I'm sure you must
Me
still
acaba de
have a
petar la
lot of
cabeza con lo que
unanswered
nos acaba de decir
questions.
Nahida, ¿eh?
There are many questions in my heart as well. I will need some time to go through each one of them.
Yo también necesito tiempo para procesar todo lo que me acabas de contar.
And soon, you'll also begin your journey anew. And I'm very interested in your future. It's a journey that can't be observed or recorded by this world. If fate is the ultimate knowledge, then your future will be the ultimate fate.
Paimon's sure glad we got to meet you, Nahida.
The pleasure is all mine. Alright, that's enough talk for today. If you ever miss me, just close your eyes, and maybe I'll appear in your dreams.
Pues con esto termina, en este caso, el acto 5 del capítulo 3. Y lo que digo, no entiendo, hemos conseguido retener blanco, hemos conseguido experiencia, hemos conseguido protogemas, hemos conseguido un montoncito de cosas. Pero lo que a mí ahora me peta la cabeza, ¿vale? Aunque ya hemos completado esto, que ha sido una auténtica pasada, es el hecho de que los descubrimientos de ahora creo que son realmente importantes. Entiendo que todavía nos faltarán muchas cosas por hacer. En el tema de misiones por lo menos ya lo tenemos completo, a falta de lo que digo, ir completando misiones legendarias como por ejemplo la que tenemos ya disponible de Tignari o incluso la de Nahida, que serán las próximas, algunos de los vídeos próximos que iré trayendo. Aún así, como podéis ver, he traído antes de todo este gran lore, estuve trayendo también un poquito cosas diferentes. Y el plan pues es continuar con todo lo que pueda aquí de Genshin, desde las misiones legendarias hasta todo lo que me quede por completar en esta increíble aventura y disfrutar de todo esto con vosotros y vosotras hasta el final. Así que si os ha gustado el vídeo, como siempre, por favor dejad el buen like, suscribiros al canal para estar al tanto de todas las novedades. Soy Yo Herrero, esto es KTS y ya lo sabéis, nos vemos en la próxima, viajeros. ¡Hasta luego!